Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the breakfast show, Trading Idea with SMARTRobie. Now, as we have seen last night, the number of cases of COVID finally hitting 10,000, right? As I said before, much earlier, this is only can be caused by Delta variant, which we have seen the Delta variant has done a lot of damage also in Indonesia as well as some other countries, right? So we are very close to the end, but we are not that yet. So keep your fingers closed. Cases will continue to ramp up. What we can do is stay alert and stay safe and get your vaccinated before you do go out. So those are my advice that I have. I've gotten my first dose and I should have my second dose by end of this month. So that's something for me to take care of myself, so I'm able here to continue to perform this duty of informing you how our market is doing and through our very wonderful apps. Now, so far this morning, the news from the Bursa. Let's take a look at it. Of course, the trading idea for SMARTRobie, we have a couple of good ideas from here. The technology continued to move higher, and let's take a look at what we have for you this morning. That's right. Now, don't forget our Rakuten Trade. Open up an account with Rakuten Trade and enjoy the 50 ringgit brokerage rebate, a chance to win it. That is our collaboration of SMARTRobie with Rakuten so far in here. And today is Wednesday. Definitely we'll be looking at the intermediate level, where we'll be looking at the trending stock that is merging higher. And guess what? We already have a nice trend on the technology stock. Finally, it is coming back, which is something that I've been looking forward on the thing there. And don't forget, tonight we have another talk, live public talk at 9:30. Do join me. I will fill you in with more details on that one in here. Now, the news headline, definitely first thing is the situation that we have in the Malaysia, as well as the continued shutdown and more cases of COVID-19. The political hasn't been stabilized yet, so the GDP has sort of been revised downwards, right? For the second half of the year, we were around 4.5 and 5.0. That has been revised to 3% in here, and we really don't know where we're going to be getting out from this EMCO. The latest news is that we need to reach at least for Selangor and Kuala Lumpur 40% vaccination. We are still very far away from that yet, maybe just around 20%. The sooner the better, I suppose. That's how we just need to sit tight and wait it through this weather storm in here. But having said that, the KLCI market, which I'm going to show you right now, continue to move downwards. Let's take a look. Are we still in the downtrend? So you can see right now the market in here is down 5 points, 1540. The continuing resistance that we see them switching to a wider chart will be there. And right now we have some of these very active stock. You could see Pasokan, which is Pasokan GB. That is a pretty nice stock, I would think. Most decline, it is bullish rating of 66% and green pentagon. You want to get in when around 60%. You should be trying to be interested around 60% and in. Let's take a look at 0177 just for curious and look at the stock chart. So that's how you want to be looking at, and this is what we means. You have a long upthrust, very long one, you can see there, right? And you can check it out on your time in here. But having said that, let's take a look at the KLCI. So right now you can see the 1520 maintain 1520 1530 is the resistance. We do have a support at 1500 in here. We will see how this situation continue to go up. This could be the bottom because the market's starting to reaccumulate in here. Is it time to buy yet? Definitely no. We still have to wait for the green pentagon to comes out in here. The green pentagon need to come out in here. As such, many of our audience are still staying away from this market, as we said before in here. Let's move on to our next story. So our next story is on Malakoff and DRB signing off a solar deal. As I said before, this year will be the year of the green energy movement, and we have seen that already moving in the US side, which later on I will talk about it on the US section in here. But on the Malaysian side, a lot of the green energy movement have seen the stock continue to go down, and again because of the overall bearish market that we see in the KLCI. A better market will be on the US side, and there is a lot of opportunity over there. So you can see from here, let's go over to Malakoff. Right, Malakoff, and here we go. So let's take a look at Malakoff and the stock chart, stock comment in here. So that is telling you Malakoff is having a gap up and the resistance in here around 84 cents, around 84 cents. It's not going to go anywhere. Low volume will continue to accumulate in here. Would this be a long-term play? Let's, of course, we can take a look at the stock fundamental and Malakoff, as we see in here, hitting the 4-year trend, switching to a wider chart here. So you can see in here, looking at that, Malakoff, the revenue is pretty much set, but the margin has just pretty low, about 4% in here. But let's take a look at the quarterly. Quarterly, there has been an improvement, a margin of 2% to 4. And these are very, very thin margin that we say inside here. Quarterly profit has did increase 1.5, 1.4. So this quarter, first quarter 21 is still pretty much explain where Malakoff is in here. So let's take a look at in terms of the dividend. Does it pay any dividend in here? 6% dividend. So this is a good dividend play while waiting for the so I was supposed the quarterly revenue to come up. So from a chart wide, it's not ready yet. So you might just want to wait around the support level in here and take this as definitely a dividend play because of a 6% payment in there. All right. So let's take a look at the next story that we have for you. Is no other than AirAsia. Now, AirAsia is trying to make a comeback in here. Definitely, there are many analysts saying the current right issue is a good thing, some saying not. But all in all, we have two groups of people. Those are issuing buy call and those people who are issuing sell call. Of course, everyone should try to stay neutral in here. You can see the respective analysts. Some are putting a sell call, a target price at 36.4461. Public Invest and Kenanga putting a buy call at 19 cent and 70 cent, and RTA Research putting a buy call at 118. So let's take a look at AirAsia today, where we are. So AirAsia. So you can see here AirAsia stock comment and stock chart. So switching to a wider chart in here, it does have a red pentagon. That's right. Now this right issue generally doesn't sound to be very positive, because when you have right issue, they are trying to raise price and they're trying to pivot. I think the whole key here is to pivot from travel, which going forward will continue to see resistance. They're trying to pivot to the big apps with the joint venture or buying a bit of the Gojek in Thailand. Yet to be seen whether this will be a profitable, or eventually the shareholders will be left settling with a lot of debts in here. No doubt there are a lot of risks in here, but judging from the chart wise, this news has not been taken very lightly. It will gravitate back eventually. Let me just pinch this up a bit. And if you look from the chart here, back to 80 cents. Of course, depending who you are listening to, whether the side that is doing the sell call or the other side who is doing the buy call. Okay, both have. The other one is a 118. Definitely, that is definitely what we call outlier in there. All right. So take note of the AirAsia in here. Doesn't look from a chart wise, doesn't look anything promising. Other than that, I would just wait for sign of culmination, WYSD, and before doing anything else. Let's move on to our next news. Now, next news is on Genie, which has been a high flyer in here, also appeared in our trending stocks. Now, if you look at it, let's look at the Genie in here. After the UMA, usually I would tell investor to exit partially, because ever since you've seen UMA, this thing is gonna. But again, this I believe is a smart money stocks which has been pushed up from $5 to $18 to distribute this. You know, only you can see this in Malaysia. right? It was around 4 ringgit, now almost 18, and you could see there are a lot of money being pushed in, and eventually people will kind of get hurt trying to buy on this one here. So it's a ACE listed market. There was some news you can see from here on June 17 that was being secured in here, but that doesn't mean this stock can go up 300 over percent. If you can see from the chart above me here, switching a wider chart here, Genie was likely to be 323% during the last green pentagon at $4.39. Now it's $18. Now the question is, will this have the same fate with stocks like Data Prep, which we've seen? Let's take a look, and also Focus eventually, where a lot of people, are left holding the stocks. So let's take a look at Data Prep. Right, so you can see Data Prep hit that high and then finally coming back down, and you can also check out Focus Group. So take note, this could be the end of a good run very soon. The fundamental price does not justify where it is. Of course, let's take a look at Genie fundamentals. Looking at the stock fundamental in here, and you can see this is a negative PE stocks, okay? Negative PE stock, and it's grown so much. It's going to do a middle cap. Okay, let's take a look at the financial statement. You can see a quarterly report in here. Fourth quarter 20 is still losing money, so you can see, so all of a sudden it started to make money, and it's 18 ringgit. So fundamental doesn't justify it. Let's look at the cash flow. Cash flow is also coming down. You can see, just 6 million from the operating cash flow in here. So this do point to the beginning of a sell-off normally when we see in Genie Tech. So take note about this, right? Good news from the tech sectors is on front end, where the continuous semiconductor global sales continue to push up. So this does looks very promising. So let's take a look at the front end, the stocks, right? And chart wise looks pretty good. It's one of the better ones I've seen so far. Right now, let's take a look at the stock chart here. So you can see from here, nice accumulation, and all the technology stocks are exhibiting. Of course, they are playing catch up to Apple, and those are one who have been talking since July last month. Apple has made a great run to about 146, 49, 150, around $130 in here. So this one again, front end this morning. Where is the chart this morning here? How is it doing? And you can see it's still up 1.6%. So there is a buy call from Maybank saying the target price of 390 now is 329. So another possible 60 to 70 cent update. This is a better one. Be ready for another takeoff from here. All right. So if you need to do this trade, do use the trading plan with the suggested entry price. All right. So that's the one in here. So let's take a look at the next news, moving our side to the US market in here. All the technologies continue to perform that well. Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet. So let's move over to S&P 500 right now, hitting the Microsoft. Of course, let's take a look at last night. Of course, we want to take a look at the stock chart first. So you can see from here onwards, the S&P 500 continue to make upwards, going higher here. Very nicely done. You can see since the green pentagon pushing up in here. Of course, people don't like to buy high, but it can go higher. That's the whole point. Do take note now. Some of these big active stocks were like 48 million. Pentagon is still green. BAC, Ford, Neo was down 3% here. Google continue to make upwards. So these are actually pointing to a lot of upside. Okay. Decliner was down 2.5% in here. But one thing, do take note, the upthrust on the current chart that you will see last night, we are seeing a sign of weakness on the Nasdaq chart. So the Nasdaq chart would probably see a little bit of profit taking probably tonight. All right. On the side of the Tesla, and I just want to show up, Tesla stocks is in the talking point for many of the banking stocks by the bankers. Goldman Sachs is. So let's take a look at Tesla here. And you can see stock comment, stock chart for Tesla. is definitely a green pentagon. All right, so the green pentagon, of course, we have a nice move up there and it's ready to take up to 720. There is a target price in here from Goldman Sachs raising it to $860. Right now is only around the 680, 690. So definitely yesterday we have this resistance. Remember, we see the two up thrust. It needs to take up the two up thrust. So a lot of the EV cars are in play. I do see the next couple of weeks, eventually this market will try to break up this in high and started to move up. So that is what is in play for Tesla here, green pentagon. So keep an eye on the stock here. All right, let's move ourselves right now to the SGX market in Singapore in here. So in the SGX market, there's only one stocks, although there are some stocks to watch out for: OCBC, CNBC, MM2. The stocks that I was talking about is the DC Keppel REITs, and this is something I like on the data distribution in here. So go to SGX and let's take a look at the market, where it is now. So you can see again, the stock chart very similar to Malaysia. As Malaysia is going down, at least this one is holding up. You can see Singapore sideways, US up, Malaysia down. All right, why? We all know COVID, political situation, very simple. All right, so you can see here, let's take a look at the Keppel REITs. That's the one that I like in here. So what you want to do is Keppel, KEPP, it's AJBU, Keppel DC, right? AJBU is the stock code, and stock chart, stock comment that will take you to this chart in here. It's been trending down, and remember, this is also a play on the tech infrastructures. Now that we see the green pentagon, this is likely to resume back. It's a REITs paying, and you can check out the dividend, of course. Let's take a look at the dividend too, right? Which does represent a better dividend in here. 3.5% and earning in Sing dollar. So that is my take on the SGX market. Something that I like is the Keppel DC REITs. Okay, check this in out here. So of course, let's move on to our leaderboard. Now, we haven't caught anything since May. It's already July, we all know, because the market was trending down. So in the down market, it's difficult to make money. That's right. So last week, that's right, on our trending stock, we did had two shares that we picked on the 7th July, and they are tech, because I was saying already all this time, the sectors in US started to move up. This is due to the interest rate, and that's why we have JHM and MI starting to move back up here. So let's take a look at the chart I have for you. Right, first one is MI. You can see nice base building in here. A lot of resistance is taken out in here. So this is up 1.4%. JHM looks pretty good. You can see JHM consolidated, nice pickup for 5% and 2% here onwards. So that's going to be good. You can see from the green pentagon, if you've gone in here, that's a nice one, as we see the sector in the technology is moving up. All right, so these are the stocks on that. Let's take a look at what we have on the stock trade idea from Pentagon this week. All right, this week again, we picked the Penta and Hexa. Hexa Global is a chemical-based manufacturer in here. It pops up. Now remember, this thing came out on the 13th, which means the trending stocks list came out here. So let's take a look at Penta. Penta had a nice run already. Of course, a better way to enter is during the green pentagon way back in May, and it started to push up this morning, 2% in here, and there will be probably a dividend payment in here. Nice one for Penta. Right, and the next one is Hexa Global. Okay, so Hexa Global will test the old high around the 115. So this is a nice trend. We just have a green Pentagon guider yesterday, and this is looks to be potential. All right, we will come back next week to check whether it will have the same move just like MI and Penta. And these are some of the nice setup that we've seen. A lot of sign of strength, sign of weakness here, right? And we'll test. Will this be a resistance? We will know later. All right, very later in here. So those are the two trade ideas for this week for Pentagon Guider, Penta and Hexa Global. We will come back and review this next week. Now, of course, we also want to look at the hot sectors for the KLCI, switching it back to KLCI here. And what is the sentiment right now? Right, sentiment is very positive. Virtual market attended draws 8,000 attendees. Bursa was higher and rebound on stronger buying. Will we see a rebound? SMARTRobie seems to be reading from the news, seeing a rebound in here. All right, let's see in the coming weeks. But I do take note of the current situation. The market is sort of holding up at 1.5. It's not the kind of bullishness that we want to see, but definitely from the news, it is painting on terms of the news headline in here. Okay, and let's take a look at the next news that we have is the Pentagon trading portfolio. Now the market has seemed to be down, so our new high around 17% was taken back. We are back to about 10%, just short about 11% in here. Right now we are comparing to the KLCI, which is down. We are still beating it with a win rate of 50%, judging from the market that we have. And of course, we did a recent polling in our SMARTRobie audience, and many of you who attended our last Saturday, our growth investing in here. We did a poll and trying to engage how many of the people did make money. We have about 40, just short of 41% of people make money in Malaysia, just like we did with our Pentagon trading portfolio in here, continue to make money in the round of 2-digit. Many are really struggling. We could see almost 49% of people really struggle to make money this year, and perhaps some of those who will continue to use SMARTRobie and follow the plan, at least have some sort of chance of doing better here. All right, let's take a look at the hot sectors this morning in here. SMARTRobie hot sectors, right at the bottom there, and you can see technology, industrial, REITs continue to be our top sectors. Of course, you can always go in. I'll be doing a couple of SMARTRobie new tutorial. We will be releasing them soon. Once we have it out there, we will show you how to use some of these options better in here. Definitely for sure, the sign of strength, sign of weakness is the schematics that we use a lot in here to denote the types of basic stock movement and tend to go higher. Always pay attention to the low volume, like what we've seen early on for Hexa and also the JHM, which started to move up. Those are the kind of stocks that we wanted to move, and provided they are in line with the hot sectors, then we are able to pick it up and move. Of course, this is the sign of strength, and our August intake for the will be it's open up. So those of you who have registered for our masterclass 3-day, there will be an August intake in 20, and we have our 5 coaches and trainer will be part and parcel of training all our masterclass member, and you can tap into their vast experience to know the market both in US and in Malaysia and also on the Hong Kong side. So that's really one benefit. The coaching that we have will last over 12 to 15 months. Can you imagine the access of the information that we have in here? All right. Also for tonight, we will be talking another topic for many of those who are interested in dividend investing. How much money to live on of dividend? This is a part 2 from where we started early on, the how to start the dividend portfolio in here. So we'll take it from where we left off in here and build how much do you need to live off your dividends. So for those of you who are interested in living off dividends, so as part of or planning to do that, part of the financial planning in here, definitely join me tonight at 9:30. All right. So very thank you. Also last Saturday we finally hit 370 Google review. Thank you very much, and still hitting the 4.8 rating out of 5. We're very happy, and I have to say we are one of the highest rating in terms of educator provider as well as apps inside here, and thank you for your support so far in here, and we want to make it great also in our Google Play Store and Apple Play Store. And those of you who have not who have used our ad and find quite happy with it, do go over our Google Play Store and give us a feedback in our apps in here, so we are continually to give you a better service and improve our user experience of our apps too in here. So right now I'll be looking at a couple of stocks that you all have in here. We have the Fitters. All right, thank you Amil. Okay, we got Fitters. Someone want me to look at Fitters, so we'll be looking at the stock chart here. Filter diversified. Oh, nice one. Just green pentagon in here. I suppose you have so this is a good one in here. Let's see whether it will take off or not. All right, these are classic. If it's a green pentagon, you wait until the green pentagon confirm. Again, this is a daily chart. All right, you still need to wait till 4-5 o'clock. It could be an uptrust towards the end there, so just take note of it. Okay, let's look at some of the other stocks that I would have. Of the members want me to look at, do let me know. Okay, Inari. Let's take a look at Inari. Now Inari also same, also green pentagon in here today. You got a lot of resistance here to take out. You got here the 350, the 320. So it will take a while. It will take a nice while. It's very similar. Inari, Penta, JHM, M1, all will move together one. Okay, because why? If you look at it, better for me buy Apple. Okay, buy it here 125. Yep, and if you take it 125. Okay, even better lah. Just go over to SMARTRobie, type here, just show you how to do that. Okay, and just type AAPL, Apple. Okay, and go to stock chart, stock comment. So you can see in here, it's already up 14.8%. That's how to calculate that. All right. So last night you have this, try to close, open high 146. They close 149, touch about 147. I do think that Apple is a bit high. It will go through a little bit of profit taking. You can wait for it to come back down to maybe 140Y for those of you who are patient. Okay, Michelle want me to look at WCT. Okay, this one gaps up, green pentagon, also very nice, but it moves up 10% in here. Usually when it just gaps up, it will likely to hold its level back to this level in here. It's not going to go up straight, so you still need to wait a bit more. All right. Okay, we have Great Tech. Great Tech should be fine. Again, it's technology. Most of the tech stocks will do okay. Nicely done in here. Started move up. Old resistance $6.30. You got a fair bit. Same story with Inari. It will take some time, but the good thing is it has a lot of what we call uptrend movement. A lot of uptrust. The takeout of the uptrust. Most important is the blue trend zone. All right, the blue trend zone. We have Sedania. Innova. Sedania not so good lah. Yellow pentagon here. Okay, so we have NS. So if you're trading on NS, following by one of the trades that Zach always talk about, then this is a pretty decent trade in here. All right, a decent trade in here. My take is always on the overall sectors behind it. You can see the hot sectors. Then you probably have the wave. The gelombang will push you here. Okay. So any more stocks? Okay, do let me know, right? Else I was just gonna close it in here. Do share this video in your timeline. I'm very happy if you could just also spread the good word of our Telegram to some of your friends who is interested in here. And of course, do join our YouTube, right? Subscribe to our YouTube and be informed of our new educational and informative information that will help you in the market. And right now we are extending also to the US and SGX. If Malaysia, the fishing pond is not there, then you have a chance to move over where you can make substantial money, which I've done pretty well, or diversifying across the region in here. And don't forget our Rakuten collaboration in here. Do open up an account with Rakuten and you get the chance to win the 50. And don't forget to subscribe to our Telegram chat room if you have not. Those of you who are first time, right, do consider that. Okay, if there are no more stocks, I will see you tonight, right, at 9:30, while I'll be kind of busy preparing tonight's presentation for you, something to share with you at 9:30. I'll see you then. Bye bye.